What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of AM Training. It is week 4 of my meet prep where I'm gonna compete in the 198 class, and I am about 16 weeks out. So this whole prep is gonna be 20 weeks basically. So about three 6-week cycles with about deloads in between. This is week 4. Week 4, the way that I'm programming is that I am maxing out in AMRAPs for the squat. You'll see later on in this video that I will be doing 460 for a good set of I think 5 times 4, with the AMRAP being 8 reps. So I'm pretty sure that's a PR. Definitely felt the dizziness in that one. So that was a good training session. Again, this top sets of being wrapped is definitely helping out with my confidence. 460 feels really light on my back, so I'm pretty happy with that. But this video is gonna be a little different. So before I go on, I'm sure you guys want to know what I'm eating this week. This week I made some chicken breasts with a prosciutto wrap and also asparagus, because we want to really piss off the people that we pee next to in the urinals, because that, like I said before, that asparagus is strong stuff. And then let's see, this video is different because I'm gonna not talk about biomechanics, or I'm not gonna talk about my programming, which I do want to talk about the X sets, but I'll talk about that next week, so stay tuned for that. X sets are basically my way of going, it's almost, people try to like compare it to like a maximal lift for that day, like a Bulgarian method. You have that max lift, but it's not always about max lift. It's almost well, I'm talking about it now. Stay tuned for next week. But this week I actually wanted to talk about I guess my journey as a physical therapy student, how I got here, and because Cody, if you're watching this, what's up, Cody? He wanted to know how I got here. I'm currently a physical therapy student, so let's talk about it. So my history, so let's say, so I'm 32 years old now, and I graduated at 2005. So 2005, I was about 18. No, I wasn't like 20. I wasn't like a super senior or anything like that. So I graduated 2005. I went straight into vocational school, school called Merritt College or Kaplan College. It was basically a PCAT system. It's just fancy word for patient care assistant technician. It's just basically an MA, but it was an overpriced one. So I do slightly regret making that decision going to vocational school, because at the time I was kind of debating, should I go into the medical field, or like all Filipinos do, right? Or either the Navy or medical field. That's kind of our thing. Or do I go into art, because I actually like drawing. I felt like I was pretty decent at it, but the thing that was scaring me is my creativity isn't that great. So I can draw things and look at it and do that, but when it came down to like making things up in my head, I was scared and I couldn't do it. And plus, everyone that I knew didn't kind of like the fact that I was going into the art field, because it's they say starving artist for a reason. They don't really say starving medical student or medical field. It's pretty secure. So when I went to vocational school, we had different subjects every month. So every month we had a different subject, as in unit clerk, like phlebotomy, CNA, physical therapy. I'm trying to think what else, like ICD-9 coding, stuff like that, just like a different subject every time. And I kind of fell in love with the physical therapy thing, just because I like the idea of being fit. At the time I was like probably a $110 at the time, 100 pounds. I graduated from high school, and I always liked being able to do stuff, but I was just a really small guy. So I felt like physical therapy was kind of like a personal training meets the medical world. So I fell in love with that. But when I was doing my internship for a CNA is a certified nurse assistant. They basically do all the dirty work at the hospital, cleaning up patients. I was talking to the physical therapists that were working there, and they said they had an opening at another clinic, and I went ahead and just I was a little assertive to make sure that they interview me. And so 2006 is when I got my job as a physical therapy aide. Don't get it mixed up with an A. So there's PTA and PT aide. AIDE. PT assistant is basically what a physical therapist can do, but just without the evaluation. Physical therapy aide is basically their gopher. Gopher meaning go for this, go for that, do this. Basically, bottom of the totem pole. But I mean, I was at the bottom of the totem pole for a good physical therapy for 13 years. So I was an aide for 13 years. Now, within those 13 years, I was actually going to school and getting my undergrad. So it took me a good, I don't know, from 2006 all the way to 2015 to get my lower division classes. So 2 years of school, I stretched it for a good, 9-10 years, because at the time, because I got married at 2010, and I had my first kid 2011, my 8-year-old boy right now. And so that basically, I had to make sure that we can eat. So I had to make sure that we can eat, because I was working and also going to school. So those are the videos that you see. A lot of you guys were like, I don't know how you work and go to school at the same time and still train. I mean, I kind of had no option. The option would be that I don't train. Option would be that I don't go to school. And the option would be I don't feed my family. So it's almost like you just got to do what you got to do. And so that was what I had to do. And so with that being said, that's a phrase I love to say because that's me thinking. I was going to school for 2 years worth of school within 10 years. So that wasn't going to work out. I was looking at my time, and I was like, I need to be a physical therapist pretty damn soon, but I only have my lower division classes. So the first 2 years of university for all you non-Americans, university. A lot of my clients like to say university. I don't know, college, it's different for Americans because college means after high school. But I understand it differently when my clients were like, oh yeah, I'm at university. But yeah, 2 years. And then so with that trend going on, that would have meant that I had to do another 10 years to finally graduate with my bachelor's. And I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm still gonna go ahead and just go full-blown work, but I'm gonna work. Luckily, my job was awesome. They're like, you know what, you were going to school. We still want to keep you, but you can actually work at nighttime, where I would do like insurance stuff. So that's why you would see me my older videos where I would only get 3-4 hours of sleep, is because after I did like a good 10 hours day of school, being full-time student, because I was taking like 18-20 units at the time, I would go home at 10 o'clock at night from school, and then I would actually go right back on the computer, because my company that I worked for, they're awesome. They set me up they set me up a desk at home where I can check insurance online, kind of send out referrals and do all that for pretty much for the time that I was graduating. So I basically did that for 2 years. And that kicked my ass, but I ended up graduating 2017, and from there, 2017, I graduated. I applied for physical therapy school, but got rejected. I only applied to one school, the one that I wanted, which was here, so I don't have to move and uproot my family, because at this time, I now have 2 kids. So 2011, I had my son, 2014, I had my daughter, and 2019, I have my second daughter. But going back in time, hopefully you're following all this. I'm just I should have organized this better, but I'm trying to make this video semi quickly, but I'm not sure if you guys are interested. But If anything, I might go into more detail later if you guys really want to know my journey in school. But again, I got rejected. The reason why I got rejected to the one school that I applied to, because I was super confident I was going to get it, because I tend to be a little bit full of myself, and there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and I definitely ride that line really well. I, I missed one unit, like literally one unit. So my my counselor said everything's ready for physical therapy school, and I didn't check the work, and basically I graduated, but she didn't see, or I didn't see, I should take that upon myself, is that I didn't see that I needed a physio lab, and I didn't take that lab. So so when I applied, they said that, hey, you're missing this lab. I wasn't able to take it at the time because I was already taking 23, 24 units at the time, and there was no way that I could fit that extra place. And yeah, basically I got rejected for that. So it basically took a year off, and I just took that extra class. The year after that, I got in. So 2018, I got in to physical therapy school. Trust me, it definitely hurt. It was very, I felt like I let my family down when I got rejected in school, and it's just part of it. I mean, that's the thing, is that, you know, sometimes adversity will get you where you are now, because for me, I don't like quitting. Even though it took me from 2005, because I knew I wanted to be a physical therapist 2006, and it took me a good 12 years to make that happen. So, or at least trying to make that happen. I'm still in school. I'm in my second year in physical therapy school, but I'm currently working through clients. So I currently have about 20-ish clients or so, and that's putting me through school as well, and helping me feed my family. So I think that's everything I wanted to say. Hopefully that has been helpful. I don't know. Yeah, so for me, I did okay on the GRE test. I scored a minimum, it had to be a minimum of 300. I scored the minimum of 300. They didn't really look at that, to be honest, in my opinion. They did look at my experience. I have a good 13, 14 plus years worth of physical therapy field experience, and that definitely helps out. And I'm really passionate about this stuff, so hopefully I had to make a video. I had to make a video of me getting in. I'll probably post that later on if you guys are interested in me in my submission video for my school. Yeah, that was. Hopefully they saw that I was really passionate about this stuff, and with the years that I have, and yeah, like I said, my GPA was good. I have I think like a 3.8, 3.85. So I'm sure there are plenty of applicants that had 4.0s, plenty of ones that scored higher than 300 on the GRE, which, by the way, the GRE sucks. It's like a 4-hour test, and it's basically a test of attrition, because you're just there. By the two hours you're in there, you're like, hell yeah. The last 2 hours, you're like, I'm over it. And so I didn't want to take that over again. So luckily, don't do what I did and try to like study for a week right prior to the test. You definitely want to keep continuing to study for months before, because yeah, I tend not to study for any of my tests, but I for any test, because I like learning it the first time. And the thing with the GRE is that I thought I knew words, I thought I knew math, but you don't know it to the point that they want to test you on it. And it's also learning and studying on the way they test. So I do recommend taking practice tests, because when I did take that practice test like 2 days before my actual test, I did get the groove and understand what they're looking for. So that helped me not take it more than once. Which one of my friends, he was going into a dual masters in nutrition and physical education. I can't remember, physiology of of exercise, and he actually took it 3 times, which is crazy because it's like a $400 test, and he paid what? He just wasted like $1,200, and yeah, that test sucks. Anyways, hopefully that has been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you do want to see that submission video. It's a little on the cheesy side, but you know, YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber, and you know, that was kind of my way to have that interview with my school. So luckily it was in my favor because I had fun editing it, and other than that, again, let me know if you did like this video. It's a little bit different than what I talk about, but stay tuned for next video where I talk about more programming. So train hard, train smart.